Oh, yeah, it's good to know.
Welcome to Bogside Chats, where we're talking everything DFK and keeping it casual. My name is Matty Pesk. Tonight, I am joined by Franz. Bud, how we doing? Oh, look at this pour happening live.
Doing good. Had some fish for dinner. I like to drink white wine with fish, and you're not going to let a bottle go, unfinished. So here we are.
That's great. I think we're gonna get Guy a little bit later. He said he had
Alaskan
some.
cod, in case you were wondering.
I was wondering actually.
Alaskan
Thank you
cod.
for clarifying that. We're gonna get Guy a little bit later.
Breaded it and baked it. Some asparagus on the side, and some little potatoes. You were saying something. Sorry.
Yeah, Guy's taking care of the little ones. So he's gonna be joining us very shortly.
Well, I mean, it's not really his call whether it's shortly or not.
Sure, true.
It's
and we respect
in his
that.
child's hands.
Yeah, and I respect that, and I respect him for doing that. That is a strong pour, and I appreciate it.
Did that on purpose.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let the tannins, really get in there. Is that right?
Yeah.
Tannins.
If I will give you any amount of money right now, if you give me an accurate definition of what the word tannins means.
Well, I just know that this wine has a very oaky undertone.
That's not okay. So you're not going to answer that question.
Mm-hmm.
Any amount of money for definition of tannins.
Tannins. Tannins.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I owe you now, I guess. You told me the exact definition. All right. Yeah, we got some DFK stuff happening. We had an AMA last Thursday. We got some events. We got Singapore. We have
Singapore?
Well, we didn't have Singapore. No, we have some friends in Austin for permissionless too. Although I don't really have any notes on that. We just know we have friends down there, and DFK is down there. Well, I don't actually know if they're down there.
I don't think DFK is.
Yeah. But yeah, we're gonna be chatting. I don't know. I think we'll see how it goes. We'll see. Maybe Guy will give us more content. I don't know.
Do you have nothing prepared?
Yeah.
This has been quite the intro here.
Yeah. That's the intro. No, we got some. We'll definitely talk a little bit about Next Crypto Gem. That was kind of cool. It released last week. And Grady had a cool stream last
Grady's
Friday.
Been killing it.
I know. He is the man. I'm
only halfway through his post-show stream. John, Starbuck on, and then he had Jed and Dreamer and Frisky. I'm about halfway through, but it was a lot of fun. Have you watched Next Crypto Gem?
Well, no, I watched the whole episode, and I watched the whole Rewind episode. What?
What'd you think?
I thought it was.
We're on a podcast, Matty. We got to give opinions.
Yeah, no, I know. I thought it was super cool. Dreamer is a goddamn hero. This guy is like, he comes in with the hair, with the flow. I aspire to get to that flow. Let me tell you.
You just think he's hot. That's all it is.
I mean, maybe that's a problem.
With the skydiving though.
Yeah, with his I have this active lifestyle and I'm cool, but also I'm an ex Goldman Sachs. How to drop the hammer as an intro. He killed it. I think I'm curious to see this first episode. We didn't get to see the three judges really they talked a little bit about stuff, but I want to know what they're judging on. What are they looking for?
They mentioned that there are going to be challenges.
Right, yeah.
I'm assuming that doesn't mean an obstacle course of some kind. I'm assuming it means just they're going to ask questions and be challenging kind of the centralization of each platform.
Right.
I know that was something that when they showed the judge conversation, they were arguing over centralization.
Right. It was do we trust the founders versus the decentralizationness of it? That's kind of a good debate to have when you're looking at Web3 projects of yes, you need to trust the people who started it, but also does it have a decentralized
the whole
option?
Point is not to have to trust them.
Right.
All decentralized.
Right.
And I'm not sure any of these, Defikingdoms isn't totally decentralized, right?
No, there is some dependence on the team there.
There's a basis of decentralization, but I'm going to be interested to see how Dreamer kind of answers that question and the way he frames it, right?
No, totally.
Have you heard of any of the other contestants that we've been introduced to so far?
No, well, I'd seen and Grady loved making this joke repeatedly about the dev the guy who like the guy with the teeth.
Videos.
Yeah, like I've seen him in like viral stuff before. And I think I know what which they haven't announced this yet, but I'm like 90% sure it's going to be We're All Gonna Make It Games is going to be the fourth one. The like, you know what I'm talking about?
Acme.
Yeah, I'm like pretty sure that's going to be the last one, and I think I've heard of them before, but like the other ones I had not heard of. So
one that I'll be honest, I just watched the episode today. It was a little late on it. But one that I think that we should be kind of focusing on as a community, as far as looking into, is this Vulcan Forged.
Sure,
because it's a game, right?
Yeah, it's legit. Like, yeah.
I believe it was the only other game that was on there today. Maybe there'll be some in the next episode, but I mean, that's kind of our not competition. I mean, they're all it's a game show, but
right.
You know, that's what we need to be grading DFK against. I feel like.
No, I think that's fair.
Vibes said it looks cool.
Yeah.
Vibes, is that from like did you play it? You said if I remember correctly, so it might have been he saw it a long time ago. But what's up, Vibes? What's up, Bob? What's up, Sticks Intern coming back from the bars?
Sticks Intern, yeah, Sticks Intern is one of the people in Austin at Permissionless right now.
Nice.
But the fact he's tuning in is absolutely insane. But thank you, SI.
And Worm's here as well. What's up, guys?
Yeah, actually, and I didn't watch it fully, but SI went on live with Grady and KP last night. Because Christian Peter is also in Austin at Permissionless, and hopefully they're spreading the good word of DFK. I mean, I have to imagine.
Definitely, Banquist has a very large following, so
yeah. That'd be something I'd be. The Bogside has not gone to any conferences, but I would be down for something like that.
They have this West Coast.
I know.
As far as conferences go, I'm used.
Well, that one's in Austin. That one's in Austin, Texas. Like, it's not
close enough.
It's basically West Coast. If it's not East Coast, it's West Coast. Is that what you're saying?
Everything past like Kentucky, I would say, is West Coast.
Yeah. Okay.
Everything else East Coast.
What about like Florida?
Nashville's they could have Florida. We don't want Florida.
Yeah, it checks out. But so then I watched both the full episode and I watched Grady's Rewind. That was cool. Also, like, secret shout out. I don't know if people know this or not, but like Sergeant Filthy McNasty has been like the driving force to push that, like those episodes, those Grady episodes happening with all the guests and like all the community people part of it. And so he deserves a shout out on that, because that was really cool. Getting the behind the scenes, that was actually surprised me. They had the director there, like the guy who directed episode 1, which was kind of interesting to hear some of his.
Yeah, I liked hearing about how, like, and because it's it's probably true, right? The cast and crew, they're not crypto people; they're movie people, they're television people, whatever. So the way he was talking about them kind of picking things up and them
it's super interesting
and listening to the arguments. It's very cool, because the whole point of the show is mass appeal, right?
Right.
I have my suspicions on that.
We'll see. I mean,
like, how much, like, is a normie gonna look at this show, watch this show, and be like, "Oh, I need to get into crypto"? Maybe it piques their interest a little bit. I mean, we'll see, right? I hope that's the case, but I'm a little suspicious on that. But I think it's a fun one.
No, I think that's a very fair. Because it is tough, I think, because I've told some people about this, and they're just kind of like, wait, what is it? It's about crypto. Like, why would I watch that kind of thing? Like, it is a hard sell, I think.
You told people about this?
Yeah, I told other humans about
IRL people.
Yeah, which also is weird, because it's like I mean, whatever. I really wish it was just like on Netflix. That would make it.
Do you tell people you have a podcast?
No, normally not. No.
Okay, me either.
Yeah,
I haven't told a soul.
That's ridiculous. I've told some people.
No, not for me. All right, I think the wine's going to my head. Let's get back.
I can't wait for Franz to be outed as a podcaster. Hey guys, this guy's a podcaster.
They can't know that. Oh yeah, podcast about a singular cryptocurrency video game that's not out yet.
I mean, it's a hard sell.
I've been doing it for like a year and a half, 2 years. Yet no, the game's not out. No. We just talked about like we theory craft.
Yeah. All right. Anyways,
I like this comment from Bob about episode 2, American Gladiator format.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah. That could be good. I think they could take some. I'm a big Survivor fan. I think they could take some of those competitions. That'd be great.
I just remember that giant like tennis ball gun from like the last challenge. I used to love that one. Anyways,
I remember that one.
That was from
from American Gladiator.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like when they were going through the course, and then like the gladiator was on like
you're trying to knock him off with it.
Tennis ball gun. Yeah.
I had that video game, American Gladiator.
That's cool. I think I remember that. I don't think I ever had it. I think I remember playing it like at a friend's house. Anyways, I think it's gonna be very cool. I'm excited to see kind of the challenges and like the talking about the stuff. I mean, like the episode 1 was very much kind of like, "Hi, who are you?" Which like we already all know that stuff. Like it wasn't any surprises there. So yeah, I'll keep watching it. I'm excited. I think I might be getting a spot as the community panel with Grady. So hopefully,
very cool. Look at you.
Everybody tune into that, and we'll see what guests he gets, because like it was wild. He had Dreamer, Fox, and Jet all on the stream live. So it was very cool. Oh, and George showed up like halfway through the stream too. So.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's gonna be very cool. All right, that's next Crypto Jam. Everybody tune into that. Let's get back to our other notes. I'm basing it on your notes, Fran. So
2 straight weeks, man. I didn't do any prep for the show, or
of course not. Oh yeah, so the AMA. So a lot of stuff is from AMA, and also news that they have dropped birthday hats, which is kind of an interesting thing. So anybody who's part of this leveling event, if you leveled any hero during it, you get a birthday hat. Not for that hero, that's the wrong way to phrase that, but like you'll get anytime someone you leveled, you get a birthday hat for that level.
Yeah. What was your reaction to this?
I'm kind of like, cool, that's fun.
Yeah, it didn't move the needle for me.
Yeah.
I would have preferred that they did in a way where they're raffling off, or I guess, this kind of goes into the main part of the raffle, right? Where the amulets are scarce. But I think scarcity is the big part. And like these birthday hats, they're clearly not going to be that great. They said they're not going to have any inherent bonuses, but they're going to have 3 enchantment slots so that you can kind of soup them up.
Eventually you can you can build on them.
My guess is they're still going to be the worst, headwear armor that you can find. So it's a fun little thing. It's a way to get some equipment into everyone's hands, especially for the smaller players.
I'm also curious though. There was not we talked about this when they first showed this. There is not a specific helmet slot in the equipment page. So the birthday hat might be going in the slot where the amulet goes, which is kind of interesting.
Wait, hold on.
If amulets are that rare, then these become an option where your other option might be nothing. So this could make them kind of interesting in that aspect, because these are not going to be.
Yeah.
There's no helmet slot. So
interesting. Yeah, now that you said that, I remember us talking about how we're a little upset there was no helmet.
You wanted more.
Well, I wanted feet more than anything else.
Like boots or something like that.
Big foot guy. What's up, guy? How's it going?
Guy Kid, welcome. How are you doing?
What did I just walk into?
We're talking equipment.
I'm more of a big brains guy than a foot guy myself.
Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah.
All right, that's enough out of you. We'll see you later, Guy Kid. Yeah. I was trying to click him off the screen, but couldn't find it.
No, we're saying welcome. By the way, we talked about next Crypto Gem already. We moved on, but we're talking about the birthday hats, which is going to be
I was a big brains person. Give me a hat and a helm all day.
There you go.
Well, that's the thing. Here's the thing we were talking about. There is no kind of helmet equipment slot.
So how's it going to fit?
I think it goes in the amulet slot. And so originally we were thinking birthday hats, whatever, maybe, whatever. But now that it's this limited idea where it can only go in the same slot as the amulets, and we know amulets are going to be rare and hard to come by.
We're speculating. No one's even remotely suggested this, right?
No, they didn't say that it goes in the amulet spot.
But they said that it will have bonuses. So like it will have a use case.
it will not have bonuses. It will have slots on the hat that can create bonuses.
See, Guy read Franz's notes. Maddie didn't.
Guy listened to the AMA.
There you go. Nice.
But
right. But all right, regardless, once we can add those things to the birthday hats, they might then become useful.
Do you see a scenario where they're not still less powerful than pretty much every other? Like if they're online with like your normal leather cap, cool. You know?
Right. But that doesn't seem like that's going to be an option. You know what I mean? With there is no helmet, equipment slot.
It's another level of variability and customization to your hero, which is great.
Yeah.
Yeah, Maddie, you're stuck on the no helmet slot thing. I think maybe this could be them alluding to them adding a helmet spot, or maybe it goes into the amulet. And then rephrase my question to, do you see a scenario where this is better than any given amulet? No, it's a fun thing they're giving away.
No, but I think amulets are going to be so rare that it's not going to be an option for everyone.
The first type of amulet
I don't think so.
is going to be so rare.
Yeah.
Amulets as a whole will not be.
Jewelry as a whole.
Is a hat jewelry?
Is it? Well, no. There's a whole crafting thing that's goldsmithing. So I assume jewelry will be prevalent. All right. I don't know. I think there's reason to be the full gamut here. There's reason to be super excited about birthday hats, and there's reason to be kind of a tempered response to birthday hats. I think it's possible they could.
Or you could just be kind of excited, and it's like, oh, this is a neat.
That's what I'm saying. It's the full gamut, and you can fall anywhere in between there, because I think there's reasons to be crazy excited and reasons to be, lesser excited.
I support that.
That's great. Keep that up. That's
I think
go through the options once more.
I think anyone can feel anything about anything.
Participation trophies in the form of birthday hats. Let's move on.
I mean, that's what they are, aren't they?
No, it is good though that they're getting equipment out there. They're getting into the hands of the smaller players that maybe can't afford equipment or aren't going to win an amulet because they only have a few heroes. Now they're going to leave this event feeling like they have something, and that's I think overall a very good thing.
Yeah. No, and I think also too, I think it's rewarding activity, because this is leveling up. This isn't necessarily, although I mean, obviously those big wallets with bots just like leveling like crazy.
Like you.
I mean, yes, I'm one of those, but like I think in general, people leveling is activity in the game, and rewarding that I think is positive. So
yeah, and that's what we've had episodes on this podcast where we've said reward actual gameplay.
Right.
Back when they were rewarding things based on amount of lock jewel and things like that were, purely whale games. So they're doing it. It's great.
Yeah. No, I love it. And again, I think a guy said this, and friends might have said it, but like just the fact that we have equipment coming out and is going to be happening, I think is fun. Let's see it. Let's see it in action. Are you guys both drinking white wine? It's so weird.
Guy, cheers.
My New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc.
Oh, I'm also drinking a Sauv Blanc. Mine's from Marlborough.
Which is New Zealand.
Duh.
I
knew that.
Is that Oyster Bay you have there?
I thought it was Marlborough, Mass.
No, Marlborough, New Zealand.
What
are you drinking? Is that Oyster Bay?
Such a small town in Massachusetts.
You're just not even going to acknowledge my question.
What was your question?
I didn't hear you. What did you say?
Is it Oyster Bay? Is that your wine?
No.
What do you drink?
Patterson.
Patterson? I've actually haven't had that one.
Yeah, I got a wine, but you know what? This isn't important at all. Let's move on. The next thing that they talked about, I'm going to take over hosting because Matt
you might as well.
seem to want it tonight.
That's good.
They're moving the game engine.
Yeah.
They're taking it away from Wisdom.
Right. This was interesting.
They're moving it in-house. They went into this kind of, you could tell the way that they were phrasing it, that they wanted to make sure everyone understood this wasn't Wisdom going away.
Right.
This isn't, they said
it wasn't like a punishment. Like it was.
Right. This wasn't a sign of a frayed relationship or anything like that. Not the way they explained it anyway.
Yeah.
What they said was just with Defikingdoms kind of leading more of the kind of discussion about what the game engine is going to entail, it became a game of telephone where they're passing along information to the Wisdom devs where they could have Kirkland's best. They could just be more quickly and more efficiently doing things themselves. Workhorse is still, and that was the key thing. I feel like Dreamer didn't say Wisdom Games is still going to be involved in the gameplay and the combat and everything. He said Workhorse by name. Maybe that's just a slip. Maybe that's just him saying it like that. But I don't know. I took that to mean Wisdom's involvement wouldn't be as robust like this white wine is. Nice and robust.
Wow, that was great. I think I listened to the AMA. I listened to like 50% of it. So at some point, I'm going to stop saying when I heard that. But when I heard that, I took it to mean Wisdom is still going to be part of the game like strategy and game decisions, especially like the class codexes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But the actual like computer coding game creation is going to move. Development is going to move towards Kingdom Studios. Now I am curious on that because, and this is maybe just me like curious of the like technical did Wisdom have guys doing that?
I think they had a group of devs.
Interesting.
So you have Wisdom Gaming and then you have Wisdom Labs. And you have Wisdom Labs that was broken up. I think there were like 6 or 7 of them. That 5 of the 6 or 6 of the 7 were developers.
Mm-hmm.
Like almost all of them were developers. With various skill sets that they're trying to build out that whole branch within Wisdom.
Okay, so all right, so those guys are no longer like they were just, and not to downplay it, but like code monkeys, and they would create the game and just be like, all right, code it, guys, here you go. And now that team, code monkey team, is becoming part of, or going back to, hypothetically, I don't know what the word is there.
So I'm curious kind of who within the team is running that, if that's all kind of falling on Beetle's shoulders, or if there's kind of other teammates within DFK as well.
Yeah.
Because I know there's a lot of DFK members that focus on the blockchain side of things, which of course they have levels of skills in relation to this, but building a game is very different than developing the blockchain too.
Because in my mind, I'm fine with this if it's, because I think what I've seen from the Wisdom Studio, like the game creation kind of people, not necessarily computer coding, but like the codexes and sort of like the game strategy and stuff like that. I think they're talented. They know what they're doing. They sound like they've been around gaming a lot. So I like the idea of them creating this kind of roadmap or like big picture thing, and then like sending it to someone to just do the like manual labor of coding it.
Correct.
And I think that's what it still is going to be in essence. Obviously not exactly that, but I think I kind of like that idea of like, the pressure is no longer on them to both come up with those big picture ideas and do the manual labor. It's now like, come up with a big picture, and the team will handle the kind of like detailed, code monkey work of it,
Well, so I think it both falls on the team now.
I mean, well, it depends. I feel like this is like some interesting, like how games are developed questions in terms of.
And so I look at this as this may slow down pace, but also gives them additional levels of control as well.
Well, so they said this was going to quicken things. We've heard that in the past. So let's see how that kind of plays out. But they did say that this is going to make the development side of it quicker, more efficient.
Right. Well, because I think the idea of like big picture and then coding, there's like a chain of command that went down there. And prior it was big picture, coding, back and forth between those various ones. And now they've created a more streamlined kind of chain of command of how it happens. Hopefully, right? That's what it seems like. I don't know for sure, obviously.
There's less links, there's less games of telephone to have.
Right.
Path to the product.
Yeah. I mean, I think I also too, to some degree, I don't need to know. I mean, this is kind of like how the sausage is made. I don't really care as long as the sausage is made.
I think,
right?
I think the big takeaway, and this is what Dreamer kind of added on, the game design versus the production. Mm-hmm. The game design portion of it hasn't changed, right? The same people that were designing the game are still involved, are still kind of steering the ship. The way that they're producing it is what's changed. So I think we're already kind of making too big of a deal out of it. It's interesting. But like, they're still on course. It's just a simple change that they probably didn't even need to tell us about.
Yeah,
they chose to. But
well, that's what I'm saying. Hand me a well done sausage, and I'll be happy. I don't need to know how it was made.
Yeah,
that's the analogy I'm going with.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, friends. What's
Dreamer,
next on the notes?
Sunbear, and Frisky are in Singapore.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
Kind of jealous. Never been to Singapore. Seemed cool.
Dreamer's like on panels and like talking. He's killing it.
Yeah.
And we already established I find him attractive.
There you go.
Like,
I hope you're on a panel with him later this week. You could.
Oh my God!
Bring that
Imagine.
Up. I'll have to message Sarge.
His flow, the flow he has going. Oh my goodness, he's such a.
All right. So they're in Singapore for a conference. That's great. Dreamer speaking. What else do we have here? There wasn't too much in the AMA. We were touching on... What?
I was gonna say they gave a shout out to the other like community stuff happening.
Oh yeah, and
you want to talk about that?
Is here in the crowd.
Yeah, there he is.
I think it's Raph that controls this.
It's probably Raph. Yeah.
But yeah, do you want to talk about that, Matty?
Yeah. So the ADFK guys are doing this cool kind of gold burn raffle game where you throw in what? How would you describe it? Contest, probably. Best way to describe it? I don't know.
It's a 50-50 raffle.
50-50 raffle, yeah. You throw in some gold. They burn half it, which I actually wanted to ask them. And Raph, if you're still in the chat, definitely pipe in here. They said they're burning half of it. Are you guys just sending the gold to the burn wallet? Is that what you're doing? I would assume that's what they're doing, but they're burning half of it. A fourth of it goes to the winner, and then a fourth of it goes to the next round of the raffle.
Yeah, I think 25%'s burned, 25 gets
maybe I got
over, and 50% to the winner. We're all going secondhand through Bolon's info, so maybe not the most reliable.
Whatever.
Hopefully,
regardless, it's a 50-50 gold raffle. You could win a whole bunch of gold. It's a super cool kind of fun thing they're doing.
I mean, we've talked about it's like where we are kind of in the game loop aspect of we're still kind of stuck because there's not a full game loop. So until there's a full game loop, there's certain things that are only going to be produced more and more of, gold being a prime example of it.
Right.
So I like this is just like a neat, easy fix to add a burn mechanic into gold. And I can see this being applied to a lot of other things as well, too. So you all know our crypto people love our degen gambling.
Oh, yeah. Is this true? Did Worm win it? That's insane.
Worm stays winning.
He's been winning. He's been on a winning streak ever since he got that. It was a Second Life. He got some second. I think it was a Second Life Dread.
He got 1 point. What am I looking at the right number here, Worm? Was it 1.2 million gold that you won?
Holy shit!
640,000 gold got burnt.
That's wild.
Yeah, he said, yeah, that's awesome.
No, but I think this is super cool, and this will bleed into the note I did want to talk about.
I think it's innovative. Right.
Yes.
And
exactly.
Props to Rav and Neindorf for coming up with it.
Major kudos.
Yeah, it's cool. If we're being realistic, it's a drop in the bucket, right? As far as how much gold is out there and how much gold is being produced daily. I think something like this, maybe not a raffle, but other burn mechanics are something that we've been talking about for a long time. I think it's going to be important to see that from the team, but it's always great seeing community members kind of taking the initiative on it.
Now, granted, it was just Bolon talking during the AMA, but he did bring this up and talked about it and kind of gave the ADFK guys a shout out during the AMA. So I hope the team is kind of like taking notes here and seeing that the community is just doing this on their own. So possibly a sort of in-game version of this, I think, could 100% be successful.
Add a small level of a skill mechanic to it, i.e. tournaments, i.e. whatever. 1,000 gold, 10,000 gold entry,
right?
And you have a winner prize pool. You have a certain element that gets burnt as well.
Yeah. No.
And answer to Bob here, which is like a very fair question. This is just ADFK wanted to do a fun thing. The team did not supply anything to them. They did this all on their own.
They provided raffle prizes past the gold. So
right. There was like afterwards. right. Like if you participated, if you hit threshold when you participated, you were in a raffle possibly to win some things, right? Something like that.
Yep. Eggs and tiers and runes,
right?
And all that fun stuff.
But the actual gold numbers and the winner was all ADFK. Which again, I think it's just something I hope that the Kingdom Studios is kind of like recognizing that the community is willing to do stuff like this, and they should. I shouldn't say they should, but like I think if they put something into the game like that, I think the community would be interested. You know,
something different.
Yeah,
something different to focus on.
All right. So also quick shout out, and I'll have more details about this later because I don't have a lot of details about it right now. But they also shouted out I Know Kung Fu. He's running a contest currently for his website is dfkcombat.com. I think I might have the wrong link on that, but basically he's created this like really cool skill calculator that takes
dfkcombat.com.
dfkcombat.com that takes the codexes and lets you build a hypothetical hero based on the codexes. And so now that all of the basic classes are out, he's running a contest where if you build a team of 3 with like the up to level 20 with their skills picked out, there's like a ton of heroes that they're giving away. They're giving away some mythic heroes for like first place. It's like it's a mythic hero and a mythic pet if you win. And then there's like some legendary heroes for second and third. And like in all, I think there's like close to a dozen heroes that they're giving away. Some of them are just, if you participate, there's a chance you'll win these heroes. But I think, and I might be jumping the gun here. I think it's been announced, but Wowie and I think I Know Kung Fu are going to be the 3 judges to judge all the teams. So we'll be doing like a live stream to like go through the different team builds and like decide the winner. He created a rubric. Like I Know Kung Fu created a rubric of like how we're going to vote on or how we're going to judge them. So it's not going to be super biased because like I'll be neutral. Like I won't pick my team, but that's a really fun contest, and especially because like all the basic classes. This is something we talked about last week of like, you know, assessing all of the basic classes now that they're all out. So that would be very fun. So go check that out too.
You got 5 more days to
they extended it. They extended it so you can participate in it for, you know, till the end of this week, I think.
17th at midnight.
Beautiful.
And part of the prize pool, I have it pulled up here of top 5 places get awesome heroes, but then they're just legit giving away USDC as well, which is kind of wild.
That's awesome. Yeah. So they're giving away tons of cool heroes, and it's fun too because like you don't have to own these heroes. These are hypothetical heroes that you could just build based on the skill trees, which would be super fun. And so and this was interesting because Bolon shouted out both ADFK and I Know Kung Fu during the AMA. I thought that was cool that like they're giving the community that kind of outreach, which leads to the next point in the notes. See, I'm still hosting.
Look at all these segues.
I'm still hosting.
You're rolling into it. I like it. Because
that leads to the next point of the notes that they talked about, which was the Dragon's Crossing. I don't know what the right word is. Partnership. Maybe it's a strong word. Collaboration now. So Dragon's Crossing is a game we've talked about on the stream. You know, Franz definitely has been playing it more than I have. This next season, though, they're going to be on DFK chain. I don't quite understand the details on that. But also, if you have a hero, if you have any hero in DFK, that hero is now eligible to participate. Is that how it works? That seems crazy.
So basically what they're doing is they want to get season registrations up as much as possible.
Mm-hmm.
So it's $20 to register for a season.
For one hero, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Floor Dragon's Crossings heroes are like $5 at this point. So yeah, you're saving the $5 for buying a hero, and you can use your DFK hero, and they'll basically give you a cloned Dragon's Crossing hero, but it won't be a true NFT. At the end of the season, you'll decide whether you want to mint a shard and get a real NFT hero, or if you just wanted to participate in the season.
Okay, that's super interesting. Because there's only 3 classes in Dragon's Crossing.
Yeah, so I wonder if it's just going to be like
these ones line up with this.
You use your monk, and here's some RNG. Here's a potential Dragon's Crossing here. I don't think it'll even match up to like monks mean ranger and warriors.
Right. Not even. Yeah.
I think it's just going to be a roll.
That's very cool.
Yeah, I like the concept.
Yeah, no, and I think it's super interesting, and also I think one of the big things, DFK has said forever is that they want people to build off of what they're creating. They want to create this kind of, I don't want to use this word. They want to create a metaverse. So they want like other games and other people and other communities to come and be involved with DFK Chain. And I think this is an awesome source of that.
This is a great way to do it, and I think where the problem with the whole metaverse concept goes in of like, how do you have a Dragon's Crossings hero overlap with a hero?
Yeah,
I don't know if we'll ever get into a realm where it's like you log into a game. Although that Super Smash type game was really
that little where it was like, but those were like made up, like a bloater night or whatever that was.
They were NFTs. So
no, they weren't. I guess they were stand-ins. Like, yeah.
I think metaverse is the wrong word here.
No, I know. I agree.
Well, we're just talking big picture.
Yeah.
DFK has a blockchain and someone else is finally using it. They've let someone else in. It's been closed off. It hasn't been, an open blockchain in the traditional sense, like in a.
I don't know about open. It's just like no one's utilized it.
Well, I'm pretty sure you still need to be whitelisted.
Correct.
To use it. So you have to talk to the team first. Not that I think that's what's stopping it or anything. But I think it's a good step to have someone that's not Kingdom Studios developing on or utilizing, in this case, DFK Chain. Dragon's Crossing's not the most crypto integrated game.
So when you talk about like building on the chain, there's really not a high level of development. It's just a matter of, if someone finds an NFT, they can mint the NFT.
Right. Season signups use gas, but it's not, for the people thinking like DFK and how often that interacts with the blockchain. Not quite like that, but still very cool.
Yeah. Well, well, I didn't want to get into it, but Fight Club was the first. I'll just say that. That's all I want to say.
Yeah, not noted by Bolin in the AMA today.
Fight Club was the first kind of like off or non-Kingdom Studios game. Yeah. But yeah, I think this is super cool. I think it's fun. I think anything that leads to more exposure is going to be good. I doubt there was anyone playing Dragon's Crossing that wasn't aware of DFK, but if maybe they're
pretty intertwined communities.
Yeah, maybe not. Maybe it brought some attention to some people. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, there were definitely people in the DCX community that I didn't recognize from DFK. Like I think there were. All right, Worm. All right,
fair.
Gods, can we get him out of here? It is a fair point. He is completely correct, but no, I think there were some people from DCX that came from other places.
Right.
It just wasn't the vast majority were DFK players. So this collaboration makes sense, and hopefully it's fruitful for both sides.
Yeah. Yeah. When does season 4 start? Do we know yet?
I don't think there's a date.
No date yet on that.
I'm taking a little break, so not aware.
I know I haven't been paying attention either. I'm sure it's within the next week or two, though. I would hope.
I would say probably 2 weeks. I think this will be a little bit longer because there is some level of development they'll have to do for a DFK chain.
Yeah. All right. Yes.
Yeah. iOS Code, what's up? Saying that there were some people that weren't DFK affiliated in DCX.
Interesting. Well, that's fun.
Yeah.
Also, shout out to Raf in the chat. He's kind of been fact checking us, which I'm not going to put up on stream, but thank you, Raf, for everyone. Check that out. All right. I did want to give a shout out. I don't know if there's much chat or discussion about this, but like the Halliday stuff, like it's happening and it sounds like it's going to go smooth. I really hope it be the way they talk about it. They seem like it's going to be a game changer. talking about how, you know, you could come in and just log in and not have to worry about things. I love it. And another reason I have this kind of like baggage in it is like I've been in the crypto world for a long time now, and I know starting up on a new chain and new games and new projects, like it's usually a bitch. There's usually a weird process where you got to deal with shit and like struggle to like get to the correct chain on the correct token, you know, and like I've learned now at this point, like I've learned that I how to handle that, I think. And for new people, I can imagine it's going to be hard, but the way they make it seem, it's going to be like you log in, we're good to go. And if that is what happens, I think that's awesome, you know. And so they talk about this like it's happening, and they're very excited about it. Again, I don't know if there's much discussion here, but like, do you guys have any thoughts on that? Because I think it's going to be awesome if it works the way they say it is.
Yeah, I'd like to know if they have actual like empirical data backing up the idea that it'll attract so many more players.
I know.
I think from a usability, like UI type standpoint, yeah, it sounds great.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm suspicious about the claims that, oh, it's going to make onboarding so much, like it's going to make the process of onboarding easier. But is the idea of not interacting with MetaMask, or to phrase it differently, is the idea of interacting with MetaMask what's stopping people from getting into Web3? Like, do we believe that statement in a vacuum?
So, wait, Guy, you gonna go?
I was just gonna say the other half of it is the onboarding of funds. So getting funds into the game, into the ecosystem, being able to just use your Apple Pay or whatever long term. I don't know what else is going to be. If Holiday doesn't really do anything from the payment processing perspective, but I know the DFK team in tandem with this is also working through with a lot of partnerships from an ease of having players get funds into the game. Also with the Holiday wallet, to kind of talk through the other way of that, I think this gives them the opportunity for players to test the game, i.e. the combat testing grounds and things like that, of being able to play the game without having actual funds in the game too. I do think that would be pretty big for user adoption.
Mm-hmm.
No, I 100% agree with that. I should have mentioned that, and again, I should have read through the Fran's notes better, but that is something instead of that, you know, this new, when you log in, this new login gets you access to that, you know, free combat. You know, they give you like, here's some fake heroes, go out there and play a little bit, which I think is a huge boost to just getting more people, getting more eyes on it, because that's great. I love it. But I am just nervous that, I don't know, it seems too good to be true. And I've dealt with like bullshit of like, you know, playing these games, not DFK, but like other Web3 games that are not as polished. It sucks. It's like, it's kind of always a nightmare. And I sort of like brace myself for that when I log in. I'm like, all right, what new shit do I have to deal with when I'm trying to play, you know, whatever, you know, bad Pokemon, whatever version this game is trying to mimic, you know?
Yeah, so iOS code saying that he's tried to get some friends in, and MetaMask is a huge barrier. So, you know, maybe it's just more of a barrier than I'm thinking of it as. I just feel like if you're truly gonna get invested in a game, if you're gonna put funds into a game,
right,
and MetaMask is kind of shooing you away, then maybe you weren't serious enough for what it takes to. And that sounds like a kind of douchey statement, for what it takes to be a part of DFK, but like, it does take a commitment. I don't know.
I think that's interesting, because I think I agree with both that sentiment, but also that like annoyingness of that statement, because it's like, I think, you know, to be like a real gamer, you have to be invested, right? You know, that's like the like weird attitude.
I don't
right?
think DFK like lends itself to casual gaming.
Right, and that's the thing.
I think that's the better point. Yeah,
I mean, look at like Candy Crush, right? Candy Crush has made stupid amount of money because people can just fucking click, I want a bonus, and they pay for it right then and there because it's linked to whatever shit you've linked it to, you know? And like, those people are not, that's not the audience here, you know? Like, that's not, I mean, I don't know, maybe it is. Maybe we should be trying to get to them, but like, you know, that's not who's going to be playing this game.
Well,
that like ease of use
comes down to the gameplay and the kind of like, what can you do in the DFK ecosystem without funds, without money? Like, you're not going to be able to summon. So it's,
no.
clicking around doing quests and doing the combat test grounds.
Well, yeah, it's just, and to Guy's point about the gameplay, everything we've seen about the codexes, everything we've seen about the gameplay, unless there's a way that they're developing it that I'm just going to be shocked by, it's not lending itself to the casual,
complex
button smasher, so to speak. I'm going to be smashing buttons when I'm angry, but it's a little bit different. No, it's very calculated. You're building this legion that you need to have some strategy for, theoretically. Right now you don't. You just kind of pick up heroes, but we'll see where that goes.
Yeah, we're getting to a point where it's the gameplay is going to be calculated, and we'll see if once it's fully developed, is there a version of the gameplay that is just like a casual gaming aspect, or will everything be that highly calculated 4D chess, think through every single turn and what that turn is going to mean 6 turns from now as well? Is that going to be the level of gameplay and the style that the game develops?
I think that's a great question, because I think they're creating different game modes, or at least I hope. I think that they've hinted at that, and so I think that's what's going to come to fruition. But like
PvE is going to be for those casual gamers. You're
right. I think the boars, this like boars hunt thing.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like I don't know. We'll see. It seems like it's going to be straightforward. Although there was a weird tweet. Workhorse did a weird tweet. I don't know if you saw this. It was like today.
Was it the grunt one?
Yeah. And so like it looked like a spreadsheet that was like the skill codexes, but clearly it was a reference to the boars.
It's so the boar codex and not
the boar has his own codex. Yeah. But I have to imagine that's going to be a very simple kind of like, charge attack versus regular attack versus, that's it. The boar has like 2 different versions of what he can do,
Right.
So I think, I don't know. I think it's gonna be interesting. I think that PvP, that competitive level PvP, is not going to be necessarily for the casual gamer, but that doesn't necessarily mean the casual gamer cannot do the profession quests and then craft and be part of the ecosystem and feel like they're playing an RPG and still be part of like the world and stuff like that. Because I think there are versions of the gameplay that aren't combat that lend itself to the casual gamer, but sure. Also, I don't know. If PvP is what drives everything and
well, it's not. The game's not going to be successful if PvP is the main driver.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
No, I think it's fair.
There needs to be a lot more to it, and there's going to be aspects of this game that the casual player can play. I think we've gotten kind of off the topic a little bit, but
right. Yeah, what were we talking about?
Holiday.
Easy login.
So easy login's good.
So not easy login. Yeah.
By any stretch. Bob's got a comment. PvE has to be good. Guild-based raids, that's the thing. People think they want PvP right now, but when they get it and they start fighting monsters, they won't.
Community drives stickiness of games, guilds, and community-based events, and working together towards a common goal.
Yeah.
Any game that's stuck around for an extended period of time, that's what it's all about.
Yeah, and I think Fight Club's a very good example of what Bob was saying. People say they want PvP, but then when they have to fight someone like Pouring, someone like Tad, someone like Matty Pesk when he's on a heater,
there were a few nights. I was on fire. Yeah. There was a few nights where like I was on fire.
All right, reel it in. No, but then everyone started shying away. Nobody wanted to, head in.
No, and I think especially adding to Bob's comment of like PvE is that if the end of that raid, you and your 3 or 4 friends get the fucking Fire Sword of Fire, and it has real money value, how satisfying that's going to be. You know what I mean? Like, even if it's like a rare drop, even if it's like you complete this raid, there's a 10% chance you get the Fire Sword of Fire, and like you and your friends beat it. It's hard to beat, and you do it. You're just going to be so amped up after that. And if it drops, now granted, there's going to be infighting about who gets to deal with it afterwards. But like that moment is going to be so satisfying, when when you get that rare drop item that's only available on that raid in that PvP, PvE, like, there's potential for that to be super fun. And so I think, what were we talking about? Yeah, easy login. That's where this came up.
How do you onboard new players and get them to stay?
New players
honestly, by interesting gameplay and interesting mechanics within the game, and you get them to stay through the community. And we just need more community-based things to do together.
I think, honestly, too, PvE drops, and there's a raid, and we stream it, and the three of us are fighting for it, and we finally win, and we get the fire sword of fire at the end, and we all flip out, and we do that on stream. That's going to be so engaging to watch, even just like, because you're literally like, real money is at stake at the end of it. And I feel like that's going to be such a draw to people when they see others do it and succeed. I think that's going to be super fun, and I think that's going to be the biggest draw is like, yeah. And I mean, PvP will be there too. And it'll be exciting, but the fact that like anyone could hypothetically grind and find that rare item, that's going to be so cool. That has real life value,
That's why we're in the space.
I know.
Yeah.
Can't wait. All right. I guess that's the end of that. What were we talking about? I went on a rant. Sorry. All right. Interesting note. Interesting little note. I do want to talk about this. This might bring up Salty Franz, and I don't want to bring him forth. I don't want to summon him, but travel before crafting.
Huh.
Is there anything you want to comment on about that statement?
No, I have no salts with that.
Okay.
I don't want my opinions from last week to get.
No, I know. I'm messing with you. I'm messing with you. You know that.
No. But for real, I don't want my comments to kind of run away and turn into something they're not. I was salty about specific things. I know this is going to take a while. I know we're nowhere close. Guy just got a
whoa. Interesting.
It's only 2 of 2. I thought.
Hate to see the common though. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll give context afterwards.
Throw that in the pit with a mythic.
What do you think I was doing?
Is that what you're doing right now?
You're creating
I bought 2 legendary summoners last night, or legendary scholars, and I was like, oh, this guy has a summoner subclass. That's interesting. And 3 summons. So before I throw him in the pit, let's see if I can get a sage subclass. I literally got it on the first attempt.
So nice.
Wow.
Nice.
Wait, so start over. What are you doing now?
So he was going for the sage.
My main goal is I wanted to get a beefed up legendary scholar. So last night I went and bought this guy right here and this guy right here, and I was going to throw them into the pit, but then I noticed my scholar had a summoner subclass, but also 3 summons as well. So I'm like, hey, before I throw them into the pit, let's go find a scholar with a ninja subclass. And let's summon a couple times. And
very cool.
While they still have summons. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So literally the first attempt, I got my sage subclass.
No, but I'm saying now take this scholar sage, throw it into the pit with a mythic.
Yeah, so do I throw them in with a legendary or do I just go find a mythic? That's the debate.
I mean,
because the legendary
finding a mythic would be better for ratings.
Yeah,
it's what the people want to see.
People want to see it.
We've been dropping viewers ever since that Halliday conversation. We need something to pop back up.
We went off the rails a little bit.
No, but yeah. So travel first before crafting. Do we?
It makes sense. It makes sense.
I didn't see any other alternative.
Q2 of next year.
So if you want to talk general timeline of travel before crafting, so when is crafting? Yeah, we got some time.
I would say travel by Q2.
Yeah, I don't think we see travel this year.
Yes, I agree with that. If travel before crafting is a fact, I think it's fair to say Q1 possible for travel.
I'd agree.
In my mind.
Okay. Okay with that.
The 2 could be in relative close succession with one another.
Yeah.
I see crafting. Crafting can't really work till travel is the thing.
The thing that made me think the way that Hubert answered the question it was a question about crafting and about element versus having the double stat.
Yeah.
And his answer was like, yeah, I don't know, travel's going to be first. Like, the way I heard it
not
was
even on his radar.
Right. Like, I'm not even thinking about that yet.
Yeah.
What I think is super interesting too is that I always thought equipment and crafting were one and the same. And I don't think that's true. I think we're going to be getting equipment in some form prior to crafting. You know, they're going to be basic and they're going to be limited.
We're already getting equipment.
Yeah, and they said it's going to be bound to your wallet. We're not going to be able to trade equipment and stuff like that. So I think I don't know. I think they're going to release a version of these things that maybe we've been, thinking of them differently in our heads. In my mind, travel might be, we might get a simpler version of it than what I'm thinking in my head, where it's like everybody owns it. It's so complicated, and like maybe it'll be easier and kind of a stripped down version of it, which I'm fine with. Like, I would love to just see it in action, Mm-hmm. And while I do want to mention this just because I think it is interesting and I think it's a key to keep eyes on the roadmap, I don't think this is a surprise that travel would be before crafting. I don't think it's that crazy of a thing, but I did want to mention it just because I think it's interesting to talk timeline and what to expect. Yeah,
if you're looking for saltiness, I have some other. Oh wow, good timing. I have some other things I'm salty about.
Oh,
what do you got?
And shout out Bob, because I always shout him out because he said it first a long time ago. But the growing imbalance of the mining profession versus all the other professions.
Yeah,
in the way
you went on a rant about this off air with us.
That wasn't on air last week?
I think the bulk of it wasn't. But
there are a lot of things that I'll say behind the scenes. But
yeah, so I mean, talk, yeah.
No, so to Mellow Green Giant's point here, I made an AMA question, and that kind of leads to the other thing I've been a little salty about lately. I want to see how this AMA question is read, because I think that the DFK community lost something when they went from live questions to Bolon reading them. And I'm speaking from experience here. He has
Metes would disagree.
Well, Metes isn't around anymore. He used to ask a question a week. I think that Bolon waters them down to a degree, and I don't think he's doing it purposefully. I don't think that it's him trying to be sly or anything.
No.
I think he's just trying to read them quickly. But
I
think that kind of the tone of the question sometimes gets lost. And I think that through no fault of their own, the team is sometimes sheltered from the true opinions and the true kind of vibe of the community. That when we used to have people getting up there and sometimes like yelling at them, like was it Noose or someone Nouse that like kind of went off on Frisky one day?
A couple times, yeah.
Probably one of the reasons why we don't have live questions anymore. but I think that.
But there's a way to do it, professionally and courteously.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah, sure. Words, English, that's a thing. There's a way to do it in a certain manner that you're not like, it's okay to have a differing opinion and to want something more from the team.
So that's that's not what the complaint is here, because I think that's a fair point, Guy. I wouldn't deny that, but that's not what Franz is upset about. What he's upset about is, and I'll do this because personally I've seen him do it. Bolon will paraphrase questions, and I genuinely think it's just to for time purposes to like get through it, but he'll paraphrase and kind of maybe miss something, and
he'll leave out a line where it's like where the point is kind of being driven
right home. For me it's bullshit because I'm trying to sneak in my personal questions that I want in, but I understand Franz, I understand your opinion here, because I think when it was live and they were asking the questions, which if a lot of the community probably doesn't remember this, but like the early AMAs, they had people live on stage asking questions, and it got kind of insane, to be honest. Because Metes and Noose would talk for like a half an hour before they let the team answer. And so like there needs to be a happy medium in between that. because it got insane where they were just like rambling and like kind of, berating the team about their opinions.
Rambling, huh? You don't say.
I mean, that's why I started my own podcast. That's why I started my own podcast.
If I can get back to the point that I started, you guys chimed in
before we completely derailed it.
Yeah.
Nothing at all was added. No, I just think that a lot of the team that might not be on Twitter, that might not be in the Discord as actively, thinks everything's hunky-dory because a lot of the AMAs is Bolin laughing and joking about funny things. And, like, it's good. Have fun up there, right?
Right.
But a lot of these questions are very pointed for something that we care a lot about. We're here. We're doing it. Yeah, voice record questions. Sure. Ask the question the way that I worded it because I put thought into writing it is my main point. Not just me. I mean, everyone. So we'll see.
I think honestly too, I bet if we Bob, maybe we should pronounce it new. That probably makes more sense.
I think he's gone anyway, right? I haven't heard from him.
I think
I might have blocked him.
Floating around, yeah, Twitter. Maybe. But yeah, I like the idea. I like iOS codes here. Recording them. I think like that's something the three of us could easily do. I mean, we have the capability. I don't. Not everybody has the capability to do that.
Yeah,
but like
this is a good point too.
We could certainly do that. Right, and that's the thing. It's very. I mean, Bolin's job it has difficulties, and I know he's just trying to make that AMA go smoothly. So I don't think it's any like ill will, but I think he's just trying to like make it go smoothly. So I think potentially submitting some. Maybe we'll submit. I mean, we could message Bolin and just be like, hey, we're gonna submit some video or some audio. I mean, and if there's an easy function to do it, I think that'd be something that we could potentially add to the team. I think it'd be fun. I mean, sure.
No, I don't. This isn't me sitting here saying I want my question read, and I want it read correctly. I just think that there was a certain nuance to the way that the questions were asked previously that we've kind of lost.
Yes.
Okay.
What is the answer?
Good answer. Thoughtfully put together.
Yeah, 1,000% agree.
What else do we have?
I mean, that was about it. Hold on, one more note. Talk amongst yourselves.
Target levels.
That was the final point there.
You're reading off my notes. Don't say you had another point to add. So they talked a little bit about level locks. This is something that I thought we might be able to kind of let our brains run wild on a little bit. Mm-hmm. But he described it more as not level locks so much as target levels for, like the boars will have, but then also like soft locks, locations that can or will be locked, tied to travel. But he didn't say levels specifically. He said doing other fights could be, what gets you there. So like more of an achievement lock than a level lock.
A progression of the story is kind of how I look at that. You've got your entry level zones, you've got your mid-tier zones, and then you've got like your final boss or whatever from that realm perspective.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what is the comment they're looking for? I would love the idea of levels locking stuff like this. Like these heroes can't be part of this raid or this even travel. They can't even go to this world unless they're, or not world, this continent or section of the map unless they're level 10. I love that idea. I don't think, is there people that are against that?
No, you weren't listening. We're saying rather than being leveled locked, there would be some things that are achievement locked. Like you have to beat a certain boss.
Oh, yeah.
Do a certain task to unlock them.
I think that's fine.
To me, that just shows kind of complex gameplay. If everything's just level lock, that's not.
Yeah.
It's not very complex. It's not very thoughtful.
Have we talked through, or have they alluded to what the function of the void shards are? I forget. Is that how that's going to work?
They mentioned it would unlock other. Yeah, we talked about this last week.
More boar raids, basically. So I mean, not exactly.
Shards, void shards consumed to unlock specific void hunts and will be soulbound. Is the note I had.
So like more, it'll unlock more PvE quests hypothetically. Mm-hmm. Which that's cool. I love it. I love all this. I have no problem with any of these. You know, you need to beat the boss before you can go to this section. You need to accomplish X, Y, and Z before you can go to that section. I love it. I love all of it. I think that's great. And that's all classic gaming stuff. Like, that's not, you know.
No, but I think the variety there adds something. Where if everything's just a level lock, it gets boring after a while. If some things are level locked, some things are fight a boss. At the end of the day, it's all technically level locked because you're not going to beat the boss unless you're a certain level,
unless you're
et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
But it's more creative.
So the question though that becomes, is it attached to who owns the hero? Because I don't think they can do this physically.
We talked about this last time that
can you just buy a hero? Yeah. Can you just buy a hero who's beaten everybody and automatically you're eligible to go to anywhere you want because somebody else with that hero?
What we want to see, but I know that's not what it's going to be.
Wait, break that down. A level up is going to be contingent on the hero, yes.
Right.
But if it's a beat of boss type of thing, I think just from a development standpoint, they're not going to add a tag to that hero probably. It would probably be an item drop. A soul-bound item drop.
Okay.
The Void Shard, and this is to answer Mellow Green Giant's question here. He did mention in 2 weeks ago, AMA now, I think, last week or 2 weeks ago, that the Void Shard would unlock further boar hunts. Not soon, not anytime.
Right.
In the near future.
No, they said that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I see kind of an achievement unlock kind of working the same way, where they're dropping some kind of key or.
But it'd be bound to the wallet that's doing it.
I mean,
not the hero.
I would think so. I don't know.
Well, I mean, look at especially I think Perilous Journey. Perilous Journey, there's a tag on the hero.
Sure.
And like all the benefits are tied to the hero. So you could hypothetically just buy those heroes right now and get all those benefits. You didn't take the risk of going on the Perilous Journey. You're now just buying it after the fact. And I see, and there's a give and take there, because I do feel like that's kind of cheap in terms of just buying your way to the finish line. But also at the same time, that's kind of the beauty of this, is that I could accomplish these things and then sell my hero and get that benefit, because hypothetically I'm selling at a higher price. So therefore I'm getting that benefit of doing the work, you know? And so I don't know.
So I think Sticks Intern makes a good point here. He said ducks right after this. So I think half joking, but half serious. Void Shards are the next Eternal Pages. We need forward momentum now.
Yeah.
If we have another item turn into a laughing stock within the community, like the Eternal Pages did, that would be very bad.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and I think they have the roadmap there on the boars hunt. I think that'll be fine, but it's definitely something the team should be cognizant of.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was just reading chat.
Okay.
Cool.
No, I this is interesting, and I don't have a strong opinion either way here on this issue, because, and especially because I think this is one of the unique things of a blockchain based game where any asset can be bought and sold. I think it's super cool to have the option to farm and sell the shit that you farm.
I agree.
But also at the same time, I hate the idea of someone coming in and just dropping a big pile of cash and getting to somewhere in the game that took other people a long time of grinding. You know, I hate that.
I'd gladly give them that hero for that pile of cash.
Right, but I mean,
that's the whole point of the decentralized ecosystem and economy.
But don't you feel that, like, so then hypothetically, this hero who has someone else grinded to level whatever, some other person buys him and then gets glory with that hero afterwards. Fantastic. And becomes famous. You don't care that that guy just bought his way. He bought his way in to becoming the number one. You know,
fine by me.
You can buy your way to number one, and you don't care about that.
Profit on it.
Yeah,
exactly. Most people that are number one aren't doing it profitably.
That's a fair point.
Aren't doing it what?
Is that are you now? Are you calling out every streamer out there right now?
King Baka, let it be known, guy can't.
He knows you bought your heroes.
Well, I know how many heroes he threw into the pit to get his mythic Dread Knight.
Right. It's helping support the economy. I mean, I think it's an interesting dynamic between this soulbound and not soulbound, because to make the counterpoint here, because we were talking about this last week, if it's soulbound to my wallet, I'm gonna get those extra those further boar hunts, which theoretically are gonna drop better loot. I'm gonna then be able to sell that better loot. So it's still affecting the economy, and it's still in a different way, right? And I think there should be kind of a little bit of both.
Yeah. No, and again, I don't feel confident on any stance here on this because, and again, I don't think there's a comparison because there is not a successful blockchain game out there right now that is doing this, that has an ecosystem. And I know, DFK's ecosystem is still building, and there isn't really combat to kind of like
DFK still doesn't have a feedback loop.
Right, exactly. And so like the only comparisons are World of Warcraft or other kind of MMOs that don't have owned assets. And so that's not even a fair comparison because it's a different story completely, because it's like a weird black market where people are hypothetically selling things and stuff like that. And so there isn't even a real comparison to draw from here in terms of like what's good and what's bad. I don't know if a system where there's a population grinding and then another population just buying the grinders, is that a healthy game system? I don't know. A healthy game economy. I mean, I don't know.
It's a healthy, yes, it is. It is.
Based on what? Based on what? I mean,
but how else does it work? Give me an alternative.
I don't know, but
okay, there you go.
but all right. The alternative is everyone is grinding equally at the same time, and it's all an equal playing field, and there is no money involved.
You're describing Web 2. And if you want to have the conversation,
well, no, it's not even though.
Web 3. I mean,
well, I guess we
were talking about that offline. I think I might be behind something that people wouldn't expect.
What?
Maybe Web 2 is better. I don't know.
Not better,
Once
but
you
like
add real money into a gaming economy, the whole gaming economy shifts.
Right. That's what I'm saying. And I'm saying is I don't know how real money is going to affect when you create these game parameters, when you create these ideas of void shards and you're adding these things, are you messing with the economy so much? I don't know.
Well, so I put iOS Code's comment on there. I didn't want to leave it on too long. Guy's always in the bottom box and he just gets covered.
Can we change it? Can we move him?
No, I don't think so at this point. Not possible. No, but all right, that's weird. Take that off.
Oh, how about we all are blocked? Oh, it moves us up when we do it that way. I like that.
All right. No, but what he's saying about counteracting the bad feeling of someone just buying a hero, doing anything they want. Like, yeah, you have to actually play the game. But there's gonna be higher level loot. Like, why do we want to get to those higher void shard areas, those second boar hunts, third boar hunts?
Right.
Because of the loot. It's not because fighting a slightly harder boar is going to be that much more fun to do. Eventually they're going to be bosses. It's going to be great.
Right.
But it's going to be for better loot, which then we can turn and sell. So it's kind of the same thing, just a different way of getting there.
I think the key thing is, and I think we could talk about this for hours of like economy and cost benefit analysis and stuff like that. I think the key thing is that there needs to be those incentives for us to want to keep going.
Oh, yeah.
And
there's got to be a carrot at the end of the stick.
Right, exactly. And I think the team knows that. This isn't like a surprise. We're not breaking any or blowing any minds here, but I think I hope that they, and I think they are. I think they're building towards that, but I hope that there is that kind of like fire sort of fire at the end of the road. Like that needs to be part of the game. Otherwise, a lot of this is going to be very frustrating, I think,
Yeah, that's the toughest decision the team has right now is what to make the loot for the boars, just the immediate future for the boars.
Yes, I agree. Yeah.
And I'm sure it's something the tokenomics committee is talking about probably on a daily basis, right? I mean, you make it too much. You could always adjust it after the fact, but they've kind of shown that they've been hesitant to change something after the fact so far. I know they'll be balancing once combat's released, but everything they've kind of released has kind of stayed pat. I don't know. It has to be enough incentive for us to want to play this, but not too much where it kind of floods the market.
Yeah. Well, I think they've hinted at that they said that with amulets. They've said like there's going to be a limited release, and that's going to be it. So they're going to be rare items.
Yeah, and
so
they're rewarding the players that were here early, and B, the ones that are actively playing,
that are still here now. Yeah,
and there's a scenario where these amulets become quite
the
sought
items
after.
Yeah.
So
no, especially because there's three tiers, and so I'm assuming that top tier is going to be even rarer within this little release that they're doing. So,
and it's only going to be one per account, one win per account.
Unclear on that. I don't know.
So
I don't know based on the earlier. I know that for the leveling event, yes, but I don't know if that's true for like the earlier when you were eligible or not. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I think back then it was just one per. But
so maybe.
I don't know if anyone went and moved around other heroes and was leveling on different accounts.
Right. And if they're still active in care.
That seems like quite the kind of endeavor.
I would, oh man, I'd be so curious if they show us or tell us the, like how many amulets go to dead wallets,
Well, I mean, to
how
find
do you know what a dead wallet is exactly?
All right, it sits there for like 2 months, or whatever. Yeah, the wallet hasn't had a transaction on.
It's going to be a lot,
DFK
but in the
chain,
end, unless those wallets come back active.
Well, I mean, not most, but like they would be active on Harmony originally, right?
Sure. Unless those wallets come back active, it's going to make the amulets even
rare. Yeah.
So.
All right. Well, I think that about wraps up what we've been talking about tonight. Guy, Franz, any last comments you want to get in here before we wrap up?
Excited to see what's next.
By the way, Guy, is it the same background as last week, I believe?
Yeah, I think I'm like 3 weeks in a row now, but this is a good one.
It is a good one. I like it. I claim the dragon guy. Or actually, I do like the white beard.
So we're asking, is there a list of original amulet winners?
I'm sure
it might have been back then if you look far enough back in the Discord. Or no, the Discord, everything got deleted when they had that little mini Discord hack. I'm sure you can find it.
Yeah.
But not that I'm aware of. Sir Worm, were you around back then? Because it preceded us by like a month.
Yeah.
We were active in the community, but we hadn't.
But we weren't. We didn't own enough to. Yeah.
We're just getting in.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So.
All right.
Cool.
Franz, any final comments?
No.
Oh wait, I meant to ask. I don't know if we talked about this. Did we mention this? The Fantasy Football League. The DFK Fantasy Football League. What happened?
Sticks intern was high score in the league, I believe.
Holy shit!
Took me to town, so congrats to him. If you want, I could pull it up real quick. Tell you who else won.
Let's do it.
Yeah, do it. Let's be. Oh, we could be the ones to like break the news to everybody.
How many teams is it? Is it 12? Is it 12 in the league?
It's either 10 or 12, right?
You guys are asking a lot of questions, or haven't looked at it much yet, so it's.
Well, so
it is 12 teams.
How many teams? Yeah, I figured you didn't have to look that one up.
You'd be surprised. Six intern was the top scorer in the league.
Wow!
Let's clap it up.
Who was this horse that drove?
Grady. What?
Who's SI's main point scorer?
We don't need to get into the individuals. It might have been Dallas's D against my
Giants. Defense, 2 touchdowns.
Whatever. Don't care. Yeah. Grady, Crypto Grady, took down Starbuck in embarrassing fashion.
Wow.
Word is Starbuck's not showing his face around the DFK community for a week or two. It was that bad of a beating. So.
Ouch.
I don't know. I don't know what the deal is there.
We'll have to tune in Thursday and see.
Our boy Bob took Kong to the woodshed.
Wow.
123-73. Justice Beaver beat Uncle Rico. Don't know who that is. Yeah, I don't know who the rest of these are. So they're all community members, but they changed their name. What am I supposed to know?
This has been an episode of Bogside Chats.
Barely.
My name is Matty Pesk. Thank you guys for joining us. For Franz and for Guy Kid, we'll see you next week.
See y'all.
Thanks, guys.